So if you're getting dropped off in Alaska and you're paying a transporter to drop you off on a river, you're going to do a float, 30, 50 mile moose hunting float, and you don't have a game plan in place with a KMZ file or an OnX hunt mapping system that you've mapped out in advance and scrutinized the river from beginning to your extraction point, you are basically setting yourself up for a very expensive camping trip. And why do I say that? That's because you're spending a ton of money to come fly up to Alaska to do this, and you don't have no idea what you're going to do. You don't have a game plan. Well, you need to have a game plan. You need to know at least 3 locations along that float that you must stop and spend 2 or 3 days at that location. You must. And you need to know why you're doing that. Why are you stopping there? And also, just as important as that is, there's going to be locations along the way that you cannot flow past. You definitely need to stop and put into practices that I have put in place for over 30 years now. It have brought me mega success every year. It has never failed. I have never not come back without a 60-inch bull, ever. And that's because I put the time in. I've had the hard knocks early on. I did in fact come home empty-handed, but that was only one time in Alaska that I did that. Every year since then, I got better and better, honed my skills, and prioritized what mattered to me on my hunts and where I was headed. So I knew exactly where I was going and why I was going to camp at those locations. So let's kind of recap here. You want to have a map already built, an interactive map, a Google Earth, something you can zoom in on, that is ready to go offline once you're out of cell phone coverage. And that map has to be, you need GPS coordinates, every spot that you're going to stop down that river. And then you want to put it in the comments, so when you're on the field, you just hit that button, and in the comments it'll tell you you've already put in the comments, we're stopping here because of this. And then because if I back up just a little bit, you will definitely want to share this with your friends while you're in the lower 48 with your hunting partner, and strategize back and forth. And if you build that KMZ file 10 months early, then you're ready to go when you jump in the plane and fly out in the field. So you need to know exactly the 3 locations at a minimum that you have to hunt. 2 or 3, at least 3 locations you have to hunt. Maybe if there's 4 or 5, then you can put them down there. Then if timing dictates, then you can do that. Number 2, you cannot pass certain locations without stopping and implementing the strategies that I can tell you. Number 3, and probably the most important of all 3, is this one thing, and that's where you camp and why. It is crucial to camp precisely in these locations for very distinct advantages that will bring success to you and really minimize the pack job of knocking down a giant moose for one, and then packing it back to the river, or maybe even if you're like me, I call them right into camp. And last 15 years I've called them right into camp, and the only problems I face after that is bears. So, and wolves. I've had wolves in camp, bears in camp, and it's pretty neat when a big old 200-pound roughly wolf and a pack of them start howling. They have deep voices, and they're right there close. And then the bears, but that's just part of it. I think that's a bonus to experience in Alaska is the grizzlies and blacks, bears, and then the wolves. So Love it. I hope this helps you guys. And if you need to know more, you want to pick my brain, you want to take one of the courses that I have a free 3-day course. And normally I pin it over in the comment section, in my shorts and reels. And then in this main video that you're watching, I pin it down in the comments. And often on the long form videos, I'll put it up top in the description. Takes you right to a page. You can read about my free course and then go from there. But this is going to help you tremendously. Do not go out and spend $7,000 to $9,000 on a transporter who isn't even a hunter anyways, and hope for success. You do not want to go out and float a river thinking that you're just going to run into a bull moose, throw out some calls that you've watched on YouTube from all those one-hit weekend warrior people that got lucky. You can get lucky, but to do it and put the odds in your favor and really capitalize on that big investment of money that you've actually spent, you want to know this stuff. You want to have it dialed in. It's just going to be it's the difference between, again, a very expensive camping trip and a highly successful hunt. Not just for you, but your hunting partner, because you're not going to hunt alone, right? Right? Don't hunt alone. All right, guys. Links in the comments down below, up in the bio. Take care. Be safe out there. And I'll have another video coming out talking about more of this great stuff, and now you can hunt Alaska cheaply and effectively. So take care, folks.